Good evening, everybody. Today is primary day in Michigan. President Trump has immense momentum after winning the first 4 state primaries, crushing the persistent but delusional Rhino candidate whose base is 1 part Rhino, 2 parts Marxist Dems and their donors. How bad is it for Nikki Haley? Not only are her Rhino establishment donors done with her, voters are also done, it appears. One Michigan poll has President Trump ahead of her by 60 points. You heard me right, 60 points. And she spent something approaching $100 million to discover that the voters find her unlikable, unoriginal, and on her way to another crushing defeat. Breaking tonight, the sprawling Marxist Dem conspiracy and campaign to politically persecute President Trump reaches from the New York Attorney General's office to the Manhattan DA's office to the court of the Marxist Dem psychopath Judge Engoron, to the D.C. Judicial Court cesspool, to Georgia, and the damning new evidence that the Biden administration was behind Fani Willis's corrupt prosecution of former President Trump in Fulton County, Georgia. According to an exclusive report by Breitbart, the Biden regime planted a Democrat operative by the name of Jeff DeSantis, who is the deputy district attorney. DeSantis previously worked on the Willis 2020 campaign, but he was also deputy director of compliance at the DNC. His own biography on the Fulton County website says DeSantis has previously worked for the President of the United States, as well as governors and senators. We'll have much more on this breaking story later in the show. We'll be talking with conservative attorney Kurt Olson, a leading attorney on election integrity. Today is the Michigan presidential primary. We probably won't need to wait long for the results. President Trump leading Nikki Haley by 62 points. Haley only further embarrassing herself with each contest she continues to participate in. And turning now to the Biden crime family, Republicans are doubling down on their decision to investigate Biden bribery allegations from a now indicted FBI informant by the name of Alexander Smirnov. Smirnov asserted that Joe and Hunter Biden accepted bribes from a Ukrainian energy company totaling $5 million each. Smirnov was arrested and charged with lying to the FBI. James Comer, the House Oversight Committee chairman, defended the bribery probe on Fox News Sunday Morning Futures. Take a listen.
All we knew about Smirnoff was the 1023 allegation. We knew from FBI sources that the FBI had never investigated it. And all we knew was what Christopher Wray told us, that this informant was one of their most trusted and highest paid in the Bureau, and he had been in that position for over 10 years. So that's all we knew about him. He wasn't an important part of the case, but it was a tip that we should investigate. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We're going to investigate every allegation of Biden influence peddling.
Members have echoed Comer's stance. Representative Jim Jordan raising the question as to why the Bureau had employed Smirnov for so long if Smirnov indeed is a Russian plant.
I mean, this
Here
is
is Congressman Jordan.
Since 2010, so 14 years they've been paying this guy. And he's a trusted source, and now we find out it doesn't change the fundamental facts.
Biden will testify tomorrow behind closed doors. Hunter's deposition comes 1 week after Joe Biden's brother, Jim, was interviewed by the House Oversight and Judiciary Committee as part of Republicans' impeachment inquiry into the president. So the case still stands. Joining us now to talk about that, Congressman Tim Burchett, member of the House Oversight Committee, and he was there in that joint committee hearing. Congressman, we are delighted to have you with us. Let's turn to what you found out and what you think is most productive about that joint hearing, if we may begin there.
Well, Lou, I think the key thing to remember is we're talking about $20 million that have flowed through this family. There's no record that I've seen that they paid any taxes on it. You've got an IRS that's let a lot of the statutes run. You have a corrupted Justice Department who refuses to even look at this thing. It's beyond me. And you know as well as I do, if it anywhere near Trump or his family, it would have been all the printing presses have been running full time to condemn him and convict him. But because it's Biden and they have so much money invested and time invested in this candidacy, they're just going to give him a walk. And the one informant that they're discrediting, I mean, Lou, that's one grain of sand in 1,000 beaches. And this guy, and he was he was paid by our FBI for 10 years. So now all of a sudden he's a Russian asset when he comes out against the Biden family, and he was listed as one of their most trusted assets. To me, that doesn't sound right with our FBI and our federal folks. They've let us down once again. Is what it ended, and it's deep and it goes to the top, and I think it needs to stop.
And this informant, who, as Congressman Jordan had pointed out, worked for a very long time for the FBI. Suddenly, they, on the cusp of this inquiry, decide that they better check it out because they suddenly have evidence that he was a Russian informant. I mean, this is almost a ludicrous use of the Russian collusion nonsense to the point that no one believes it.
Nobody believes it. And they said whatever the 20, whatever some odd members of the former intelligence community had said that the Hunter Biden laptop was a fake Russian story, when we know, in fact, it was not, that it was a factual situation. And his laptop was very damning, and yet it was covered up by our federal government and the media for no good reason other than it was just the Biden family. So, they're going to focus on that, saying they just throw the whole thing out when all this other testimony that we have bank records, we have emails, we have these reports from federal authorities when they go in. We have email from a bank official saying that there's nothing going on in this account other than large amounts of money going in and out. They have no product to sell. This is very suspicious, and it's not just one or two. It's I think over 100. They have 22 shell corporations. Legitimate people don't do that, Lou. They don't have 20 different bank accounts that they shuffle money in and out of. That's just not legitimate. And to say it is wrong. And that's all that the Democrats are saying right now. These Marxists, they're just saying that there's no proof. Saying there's no proof, yet when you show it to them, they literally will cut your mic off. I've been on a newscast. They literally cut my mic off, and they just said I was lying. You're not gonna lie on my show. I said, well, I've got the proof, and I show, and we talk about the actual proof. They will not admit it, and that's really the frustrating thing. Should we go forward knowing the Senate has no guts to do anything about it? Frankly, there's quite a few Republican House members that don't. But I submit that we should hold people accountable.
Congressman, we thank you very much. As you suggest, there is a lot about this presidency that is illegitimate. Thank you very much. The latest on Fulton County DA Fannie Willis coming right up, and her relationship with Nathan Wade. Wade's divorce attorney is about to take the stand one more time. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
There is now shocking evidence that the Biden White House has been interfering with the upcoming presidential election. Evidence. As we told you earlier in this show, an exclusive report from Breitbart reveals how the Biden administration placed a Democratic operative into the Fulton County District Attorney's office, as that same office led by Fani Willis, was waging a partisan crusade against President Trump. A source close to the situation telling Breitbart that, quote, DeSantis did this. He's the one. He is the one pulling all the strings. He was the one that walled her off. He was in every important meeting. He is the brainchild behind this. That is, the connection to the White House. The source also said that Jeff DeSantis was instrumental in choosing the jury in this case, and he relied on voter registration data to do so. So now it's beyond clear that this case is a sham. The only crime committed here is the one being committed against our republic, ironically, by the very people who are lecturing the rest of us about threats to democracy. We're only going to learn more about this scandal as the case goes on. Fani Willis and her lover, Nathan Wade, could be booted from the case very soon, and worse. The judge in the trial, Scott McAfee, deserves considerable credit. He's ordered Wade's former law partner and divorce attorney, Terrence Bradley, to return to the stand. Bradley had previously argued that his communications with Wade were covered by attorney-client privilege. Judge McAfee has ruled that his claims are invalid. So what does this mean? Well, it means the defense, Trump and the other co-defendants, can soon have access to what they believe is evidence that Willis's and Wade's relationship started well before Willis hired Wade. If that is proved to be true, it will prove that Willis and Wade both committed perjury, lied under oath. And joining us now is Kurt Olson. He is a distinguished conservative attorney. He's fighting for election integrity around much of the country. And Kurt, is always great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. I want to turn to, if we may, the Willis case that has become more salacious and sensational, it seems, by the week. Your thoughts about what we are witnessing when Nathan Wade's attorney, divorce attorney, is going to be testifying openly, apparently, and that had been a big mystery to why anyone in the world would do as he did, which is just try to take the Fifth Amendment and say he kept forgetting throughout the original questioning. Your thoughts about this?
Well, Lou, Terrence Bradley is Nathan Wade's former colleague and attorney. And the issue, of course, is that Mr. Bradley exchanged some text messages with some of the defense counsel saying that Nathan Wade's relationship with Fani Willis began back in 2019, which would contradict both Willis's and Wade's testimony that the relationship began in 2022. And so that's a perjury trap. It still doesn't matter in many ways because the fact is Fani Willis is paying her lover to prosecute the former president of the United States with public funds. And that is a per se violation of due process, a right to a fair trial under Supreme Court precedent. Fani Willis, by taking trips and other gallivants with her lover, Nathan Wade, has been alleged to have been using public funds because Nathan Wade has been paying for those trips, for example. Now, Fani Willis testified that she paid back in cash. But this, as you said, is incredibly salacious, and it really does show the level that this country has sunk to when somebody like this can be prosecuting the former president of the United States and currently 14 other co-defendants for saying that the 2020 election was stolen.
Right. You know, it's pretty clear. This country has had a culture, and I want to just turn to a cultural aside here. This country has been sinking to the lowest common denominator imaginable, no matter what the area. When we look at the law, it is the lowest common denominator, it would seem to me, to have all of these prosecutors who are Soros-sponsored, who have no regard for the law that they are, quote unquote, enforcing and prosecuting. It's disgusting to see what the legal profession has become, because they're trying and have been trying. Think about this, everybody. We're talking about 9-10 years of prosecution of the President of the United States in one form or another. Political persecution, harassment, attempts to overthrow and subvert his presidency, his campaign, and his life after the White House. It is an absolute barbaric reflex on the part of the so-called opposing party, which has become an enemy of the American public.
Yeah, they have no scruples. And just to add a few more points, Mr. Wade has never prosecuted a case before. He was a municipal court judge that dealt with traffic tickets and family law and private practice, and he's been paid, or at least reportedly, over $625,000 in public funds by Fani Willis. And to show you the level of apparent corruption, Fani Willis didn't even have authorization, according to the defense, from Fulton County to hire him, to expend those public funds. And so it just looks almost, it's just incredible.
It is incredible. And as we look at what's happening, whether it be in Manhattan DA's office in New York, whether it be obviously Jack Smith, the special counsel for the president, and his gag orders and his penchant for totalitarian tactics, this is just to be a period the American people are disgusted. I truly believe that most Americans are just sitting here thinking, how in the world do I get around a system, a judicial system, in which the judiciary is every bit as corrupt as these prosecutors in the federal courts and in the local courts? Again, whether it's Fulton County, Georgia, or Manhattan in New York.
Well, to his credit, Judge McAfee is the one who ordered this hearing over the objections of Fani Willis. And it's because he ordered that hearing to bring out this evidence, to determine if a conflict exists, which, at least from my view of the testimony, it's very clear that it does. But the Judge McAfee is doing the right thing here. And Supreme Court precedent would demand, really, that Fani Willis be removed, and actually this whole prosecution should be dismissed, because there are other issues that go along with it beyond the salacious nature of the relationship and using public funds to go pay her boyfriend to prosecute the president. And the fact is that she does not have authority under Georgia law to even initiate this indictment and prosecution of the president and the other defendants. And so there's actually a motion that is pending right now and filed with Judge McAfee that Fani Willis's entire prosecution should be dismissed because she doesn't have jurisdiction. Under Georgia law, the SCB, that's the state election board, is the entity that is supposed to and provided the responsibility to hand down investigations and criminal prosecutions. This isn't something that Fani Willis can just pick up on her own and go prosecute the president. And the SCB did not give that authorization.
At one point in this case, this hearing, Fani Willis said that the reminder is that she's not on trial. It's the 17, 18 co-defendants and their actions to try to figure out what had happened in Fulton County. She is on trial as I've never seen a prosecutor be. She has sunk lower and lower and lower in public esteem. She has also sacrificed her legal career, it would seem to me. I can't imagine anyone ever hiring her again if she's not, in fact, disbarred. This has been a travesty that she tried to impose on the president. And I have to say, it has rebounded directly at her. And she is getting exactly what she intended to deliver to President Trump, wantonly and without any ethical basis, let alone legal basis to do so. Your consideration about what does happen here, and will this end the Fulton County persecution of President Trump?
I think for these reasons and some of the other legal basis for which this prosecution was not lawfully brought, that the case, or at least Fannie, will be dismissed as the prosecutor, and I believe that the case will essentially fall apart.
Is she liable to being disbarred, do you think?
If she is found to have lied under oath, absolutely. And there appears to be strong evidence that she did.
Well, it's going to be an interesting conclusion to this case, as we've discussed, salacious and actually going to the heart of what is craven corruption on the part of the Marxist-Dem-led Democrat Party throughout the Eastern Seaboard, attacking President Trump. Kurt Olson, always good to see you. Thanks so much for being with us.
Great to be with you, Lou.
And coming up next, there is no low that the Marxist Democrat Party won't sink to in order to maintain power. They lie, they cheat, and they steal. Nobody knows this better than the legendary Roger Stone. He joins us next here. Also, iconic Auburn coach, now U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville, a great American, taking on the madness of men taking over women's sports. He joins us for that straight ahead. And a programming reminder, please join us each and every day, 7 days a week, for my podcast, The Great America Show, available at LouDobbs.com, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we'll be there, and we will be there for you. We're coming right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Welcome back. Contrary to what the Marxist Dems and their allies in the media would have you believe, it is the Democrat Party, not the Republican, that has a history of trying to lie, cheat, and steal to maintain their power. John F. Kennedy famously stole Illinois from Richard Nixon in the 1960 presidential election. Kennedy and his allies used the influence of the mob in Chicago to rig that vote in Cook County. Even noted historian Robert Dallek, who wrote the definitive biography on JFK, concluded that Kennedy, quote, probably stole Illinois from Nixon. If not for the Supreme Court, Democrats would have stolen the election from George W. Bush in the 2000 election as well. Ironically, Gore's campaign chairman and the man in charge of that attempt to overturn Florida, Bill Daley, the son of Richard Daley, the mayor of Chicago who helped Kennedy steal that election, and I'm sure that's not a coincidence. In nearly every election since 2000, Democrats have voted against certifying the results of elections. Here is Nancy Pelosi after the 2004 election, calling attempts to decertify, quote, democracy at work.
Mr. Speaker, today we are witnessing democracy at work. This isn't, as some of our Republican colleagues have referred to it sadly as frivolous. This debate is fundamental to our democracy. The representatives of the American people in this House are standing up for three fundamental American beliefs. The right to vote is sacred, that a representative has a duty to represent his or her constituents, and that the rule of law is the hallmark of our nation.
And when they're not outright cheating or stealing the vote, Democrats use the power of the intelligence community and the deep state to spy on their opponents. That is, of course, what they did to President Trump. And then they use phony intelligence to justify their criminal behavior on Russia. Nobody knows all of this better than Roger Stone. He says there's new evidence that the deep state used the intelligence agencies to terrorize Trump supporters and to spy on him without probable cause, without warrant, and with only political purpose. And now joining us is Roger Stone. Roger, great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. Let's start with what is happening here. We're starting to look at, in the Fani Willis case, for example, we're seeing just additional evidence, it seems to me, of a vast conspiracy, if you will, and what looks to me to be racketeering on the part of the federal government and going down to Fulton County up to the Attorney General in New York State.
Lou, this is absolutely a pattern. So we now know definitively that the prosecutor, Fani Willis, and her designated hitter, the personal injury lawyer that she hired to prosecute this complex RICO accusation, both visited the White House and met with Biden's general counsel. We also know that DA Alvin Bragg also met with the White House counsel. We know that Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, who is overseeing the prosecution of Donald Trump, she also went to the White House to meet with Biden's attorneys, as did, of course, Special Counsel Jack Smith and his attorneys. So I would argue that there is a RICO conspiracy, but it's on the part of these prosecutors who are clearly all coordinating in their effort to get Donald Trump.
And it's becoming apparent that the House Judiciary Committee and Oversight Committees are very interested in what is happening here. It is also heartening, I would think, to everyone to see that there is at least an interest in blunting the brute force of what is nothing more than an ideological police force in the FBI and the federal judiciary as well.
Well, we have to see, Lou, is whether all of this corruption is exposed and it still leaves all of these criminal indictments and civil accusations in place. That remains to be seen. So while I think it is growingly likely, and I'm not an attorney, I should say that, so I'm studying this as a layman, but while it is growingly, I think, possible that Fani Willis will be replaced, does that end this outrageous case against Donald Trump? Now, there are still both federal and civil lawsuits in court still pending regarding the outcome of the Georgia election. So I question the entire underlying premise of the prosecution of Trump in Georgia, that Trump and his associates knew that he lost, but sought to, quote unquote, find 11,860 votes. If you listen carefully, if you read the entire transcript of the dialogue between President Trump and Secretary of State Raffensperger, I wish there were many attorneys on the phone. Trump did not tell him to go find or manufacture votes. What he told him is that he had already inadvertently counted more than 11,860 illegal votes. People who had died, people who were ineligible because they were registered in post office boxes, people who had moved out of state. And that has been misrepresented in this indictment as an attempt to tell Raffensperger to create fake votes, which is not what President Trump said.
And while all of this is unfolding and the conflicts are rising in courtrooms all over the country, it's remarkable to see the president. 4 straight wins, the first 4 wins of this primary season, and still Nikki Haley persists. It's truly amazing to me that the donors, certainly the Koch brothers, Charles Koch, has decided he can put his money to better use trying to find rhino senators and rhino congressmen. This woman continues, and much of the establishment Republican Party continues to try to be a flea, and an irritant to the president. Your thoughts?
It's very hard to figure out what it is that Nikki Haley wants or what her objective is, other than seeking simply to damage President Donald Trump. She has no prospect at this juncture to be nominated under any circumstances. There is no future state where she has any prospect of prevailing. She still has money in the bank. I suspect that's what keeps her moving forward. I think President Trump's made it abundantly clear that there's no circumstance under which he would consider her for vice president. So George H.W. Bush remained in the race long past the time that he could be nominated against Ronald Reagan, but that's because he was making a bid for vice president. And although he attacked Reagan's economic ideas, he never attacked Reagan personally. In this particular case, there's no prospect that Nikki Haley's going to get on this ticket. There's no prospect that she can win this nomination. So one must assume that her entire purpose here is to be a uniparty agent. Most of that money you're talking about, Lou, came from supporters of Joe Biden, came from liberal Democrats, came with people with an interest in damaging Trump rather than actually electing Nikki Haley.
And half the votes that she received in South Carolina, her home state, for crying out loud, were Democrat votes, and most of the money, as you say, coming from Democrat donors at the behest of the Biden White House. It's ugly stuff, and unfortunately, the left-wing national media uses that to their advantage to if you will, bludgeon President Trump. As we look at this race, the president has built up extraordinary momentum, and he is the presumptive nominee of the party. And at the same time, we are seeing more and more evidence of the interference of the Biden Justice Department and the White House itself in this election. There doesn't seem to be a court that is worthy of the challenge, and we're not going to see intervention by the courts, it appears. So we persist, and we continue to deal with what is an amazing array of forces launched against the president. I could never have imagined this, even in the early days of Russian the hoax of 10 years ago, nearly.
Lou, I agree with you entirely. As a veteran of 13 national presidential campaigns, I've never seen anything like this in the public arena. Now, so far at least, and this is counterintuitive, from a political point of view, perhaps not a financial point of view, but most definitely a political point of view, it's actually redounding to the president's benefit. His opponents, his critics, those who would destroy him, are so over the top in their tactics that the American people so far have seen through it. And it actually, in a very odd way, has made him stronger. He's built a larger base of smaller and middle-sized donors. It has intensified his level of support. He's actually increased his level of support. He's starting to make inroads into some traditionally Democratic voter groups. So from a political point of view, what they're doing is backfiring. Now, I saw recent polling this week for the first time where a plurality of voters clearly said that even if he is convicted in some of these actions against him, he still handily wins the presidency. That's the first time I've seen that.
Absolutely.
But I think it is because they have so egregiously overplayed their hand against him.
Yeah, overplayed it, and as the president continues to, if you will, swat away would-be competition for the nomination, as he continues to demonstrate to the American people that he not only has a proven record as the leader of this nation, it's a historic record that he has. As I've said numerous times, I think he's the greatest president in this country since Abraham Lincoln. I truly believe that this president is impressing everyone. He gave a 2-hour speech before CPAC, and he, with a wide range of humor and wit and analysis and great stories and a great message. And then you look over at Joe Biden, who can barely scoot along the floor. Who barely can put out a sentence that is intelligible to anyone. And there is no way in the world, I don't care how strongly the left-wing media tries, there is no way you can dispel that contrast in those two men with propaganda and every other weapon at their disposal. You're thinking?
Lou, I must tell you what really impressed me over the last couple of days were the president's remarks to the Religious Broadcasters Association, where for the first time, really, he spoke openly about his faith. Now, kind of like Richard Nixon, who was a man of deep faith, but who never spoke about it, had to be coaxed into it by Billy Graham and Reverend Norman Vincent Peale. Trump does have a very quiet and a very solid faith, but he's never used it politically. He kind of thinks it's a private thing. But in that setting, he spoke openly about his faith in God, his reliance on God in this vital fight for the country. It was one of the most important speeches he's ever given. It's why, in the end, I think, by the way, that he and the country will win. It was an extraordinary moment. Then you watch Joe Biden, who on TV last night, in the middle of a sentence, just, well, never mind, Lou. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's truly impossible to understand why the Democrat Party, the Marxist Dems, haven't paid an even higher price at the polls for the irresponsibility, the recklessness of putting a man they knew perfectly well to be compromised and to be corrupt as he could be in the White House, and to do so through, we'll put it this way, illegitimate means. Roger Stone, always great to see you. Thanks, my friend. Coming up, iconic Auburn coach, now U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville, a great American, taking on the madness, think about this, the madness of men taking over women's sports. Senator Tuberville joins us here next.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
And most Americans agree men do not belong in women's sports. There's a reason they call it women's sports. It's unsafe for the women to have men competing against them. It is terribly unfair, and it's just plain wrong. My next guest is fighting to save women's sports. And now here is Senator Tommy Tuberville. Senator, it is always great to talk with you. Thanks for being here. I'd like to start with these revelations about men playing in women's sports, and people seem to want to decide that that's just perfectly all right in some areas, including the Olympics. This is a country gone mad when this stuff starts, don't you think?
Well, Lou, it's just another step in what the progressive Democrats, socialists, communists want to try to do to our country. Is number one, they want to take out the nuclear family, no father, no mother. They want to do away with gender. And now the next thing is, hey, we can't have women's sports. What are you talking about? Let's do away with Title IX, and let's let, if men think that they should be able to compete against women, let's let that happen. And it's going to be a disaster, especially when they get to Olympics this summer. And now men box against women in the Olympics. It makes no sense. They've lost their damn mind. And it just every day there's something else, Lou.
There is, and it's across, as you suggest, our entire society. We are faced with an amazing array of utter specious, nonsensical propaganda emanating primarily from our federal government and this administration, carried over from the Obama administration with an all too brief an interim in the Trump administration. I mean, to think that the American people are buying this nonsense, and you can elevate it to something called the culture war, but I mean, these people have lost their minds in this country that are accepting up as down, and men can have babies, and men can be turned into women, and women into men. And we don't hear a hearing. Why hasn't the Senate held hearings on this, for crying out loud?
Well, it's getting to the point, Lou, where I think even a lot of the Democrats, hopefully a lot of the Democrats are starting to see the writing on the wall. I just saw with this lady, Congresswoman Katie Porter, Democrat in California, she said this today. Now, she's running for Senate in California. She said today, pedophilia is not a crime, it's an identity. Mm-hmm. You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah. And in this country, that was some decades ago a capital offense. And I, for the life of me, don't understand why it isn't today. This is ignorance and evil writ large across our society. And I for one, I don't understand why we are tolerating such evil. It's incredible to me. And the Senate, by its silence, the House, by its silence, is condoning this instead of holding public hearings and letting the will of the people be expressed on Capitol Hill, where everybody would have to listen to it. First of all, we need to know from the American Medical Association, we need to know why, from across our entire body of public policy, how you can tolerate the mutilation of children in the name of transgender affirmation, how you can't possibly justify that medically, ethically, morally. It just makes no sense. Where do you think we go with this now? Going back to sports as well.
Well, it's a huge con game, Lou. They're trying to get people to believe in a direction that is just so far off the wall that people start to believe it. I'm telling you, when I first got up here, I started seeing this happen, and I'm thinking, people are they're going to see through this. But now that they keep pushing it on the American people, the taxpayer, uh, they really believe it, and they're trying to make other people believe it. It's a huge con game. These people are nothing but con artists. They want power. They do not want to help one American, not one citizen. They say they're for everybody. Most of them are globalists. And again, the open borders and all that aside, it's just a simple fact that they're trying to get people to believe what they believe. And like you said, if you say it long enough, other people are going to believe it. But at the end of the day, common sense hopefully will take place, and we get back to our Christian values, and we kind of understand that, hey, a true nuclear family got us 248 years of a great life in the greatest country ever. And we don't need to tear that down just because some goofballs think that we need to change it.
Is there any prospect that the Republican Party would take up the issue of all of these culture war issues, whether it's DEI, CRT, ESG, transgender affirmation, mutilation? Why not have public hearings? I just don't understand it. Why we don't have, as particularly in the Republican Party, an immense imperative to try to protect that nuclear family. This has always been a party of working men and women, the salt of the earth, the middle class, and they're absolutely being assaulted from all quarters.
Well, what happens up here in the Senate, being in the minority, Lou, we don't control the committees, and so we can't bring witnesses in and investigate what we should be investigating, and let the American people know what's going on. We should be having more and more talks about this vaccine that they forced on the American people, where now even Dr. Fauci is saying, hey, it's causing myocarditis in young people. Well, really? I mean, we told you that 2 years ago, but they kept pushing it. But that's what happens when you take over. We will take over the Senate this year unless we just totally blow it, and then we can start having hearings. But one thing that I noticed up here, you can do hearings all day long. It doesn't do any good. Nobody's going to listen unless you have the White House. You don't have any power. I don't care if you have the Senate or not. You don't have any power unless you have the White House.
And Senator Mitch McConnell doesn't seem to be too interested in winning that White House back. He is not freely endorsing President Trump. He is the last major leadership post. His is the last leadership post to endorse the President of the United States. And apparently they're in negotiations. And I have to tell you, Senator, what I tell the Mitch McConnell would be very straightforward. You decide what you want to do, and if you don't want to be supporting the President of the United States, you go for it. I don't understand why anybody puts up with a fool like McConnell. I understand he has immense power, but I also understand that power can be taken away by a conscience-stricken Senate conference in the there that wouldn't take too long if they had the sense to do it. What do you think the odds are?
Well, there's been a lot of disagreement with President Trump and Senator McConnell. There's no doubt that there's going to have to be some kind of an agreement between both of them if he would even have a chance to be the leader of the Senate next year. I don't think that will happen. There's going to have to be some real good personal discussion in our caucus meetings in the next 6 or 7 months. If he's not going to get on board with our appointee to the Republican Party to try to win the presidency next year, if he's not going to get aboard, he won't. I don't think he'll make it even to election time next year. But he has got to get on board. I see more and more coming aboard, but that's taken way too long. We've all known that he's going to win this nomination, and unfortunately, we don't have everybody 100% on board with this. Even the Democrats. I mean, most of them know that Joe Biden's. He doesn't know what day it is most of the time, but they're all on board with him. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Well, on board with him are his Marxist masters who run him and the Biden regime. There is no way in the world this man, as compromised as he is, as impaired as he is, could work out a very simple fraction, let alone come up with the policies that they have, destructive as they are. I want to turn to the issue with our military, and you have been talking about this for a very long time. We have still, if anything, an even more woke military. The Pentagon, reeks of DEI and every other nonsensical program that's come out of the Marxist mind in this country, the collective mind, of course, the collective, they're big on collective. We're now seeing the recruiting goals have been shredded. And in point of fact, we now have just about half the number of whites going into the military as we once did. This is a crisis for the military, and nobody wants to talk about it. They want to, and the Biden, of course, wants to go to war with whatever and whoever he has, and as soon as possible. This is madness that we're watching, and the American people, the national Marxist media, corporate media, doing nothing to report those facts to the American people.
Lou, we're at a critical point with our military. They have done some things in the last 3 years since Joe Biden's been in office with our Secretary of Defense and our Joint Chiefs and a lot of our flag officers. What's got to happen is there's going to have to be a change at the top with flag officers. We've got way too many. We're top heavy. We don't have enough really fighters. At the end of the day, if you look at what happened, I see the recruiting numbers. We're way behind. The Marines normally are already full up at this point. We have young men and women not even wanting to get in the Marines anymore. They were our last hope. We're not ready to fight a half a war, much less 3 big wars. And so what's got to happen is we've got to come to the realization that we can't afford, Lou, 800 military bases around the world. We can't afford that. We need to get back here, build our military, pay our young men and women to be in the military. If you're in the military now, it's like $38,000 a year to start out. Well, hell, the illegals are making that much coming across the border. I mean, we have to pay these young men and women because they got too many other opportunities. But as you said, we're woke. This DEI, I mean, it reeks of corruption. And we'll get it straight. We get President Trump back in there. He's going to need to start at the top and ask for a lot of resignation and early retirement from a lot of officers and get back to the grassroots and get back to the legacy young men and women that grew up in the military. Their parents now tell them, please do not get in the military. It's not what you think it is. I spent 25 years. It's not for you. Do something else. And when that happens, we got huge problems.
Yeah, and it is happening.
Right.
Talking with veterans around the country in various walks of life, they're actually saying to their friends and to their kids, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's heartrending. Senator, as always, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you being a force to be reckoned with in the Senate, given the direction that Senate goes whenever it can. Thanks so much, Senator Tommy Tuberville. Thanks. And thank you for being with us. Join us here tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. Award-winning investigative journalist, founder and host of Just the News, John Solomon will be here. Retired Chief U.S. Border Patrol and Texas Public Policy Foundation Distinguished Senior Fellow Rodney Scott, and President of the Government Accountability Institute and author of the new book, Blood Money, Peter Schweitzer, joins us. You don't want to miss it. And you don't want to miss the Lindell Report either. And I've got great news for you. The Lindell Report is next, and that means Mike Lindell is ready to take it away. Thank you, good night, and God bless you.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time.